Why do empaths tolerate narcissists?
What happens when my tolerance level goes up to pain, my worth goes really down. Because why is my worth lower? It's because I can't even feel myself.
A lot of empaths really have they're going into just their wounded self of trying to prove their worth, and it's trying to fix something and then feel like, oh, I'm going to make a difference because I'm going to fix this.
I can't hear myself. I can't feel myself. I don't even know if I like what I'm doing or I'm not.
How do we let that beautiful empath and soul that literally is just absorbing everybody's energy to slow down a little bit, see what's going on, see what's happening, realizing there's other people there that you can't ever fix. And
There's actually a challenge. It feels good. It depletes us, it breaks us down, but it's challenging.
why do empaths tolerate narcissists? This was a really great comment that we got on one of our most recent videos, and we want to address this comment. We very much value the comments. So here we go. Let's talk about this. Rain, why do empaths tolerate being with narcissists and the horrible behavior?
So they tolerate narcissists, the empaths, is because they have the ability. So a lot of empaths, even though most empaths are unaware of this, we as empaths have the ability to see deeper within others. So one of the most important points is when an empath is tolerating a narcissist, it's like a human tolerating a 5-year-old. So when an adult, a parent, a mother, is tolerating 5-year-old's tantrums, a 5-year-old's needs, a 5-year-old's, I want my candy and I want this, and I'm angry and I'm upset. So what happens is, so if you're thinking of the empath is perceiving the narcissist at the age that the narcissist has stopped mental growth, which is the age of 4 and 5. Okay. If you're talking to a narcissist, you're going to realize that a lot of the conversations you're having with them is like having a conversation with a child, right? Where you have to discipline them, you have to talk kindly to them. Then they have a tantrum, and you have to ignore the tantrum, but be present. So there's that happening, except that you're seeing them in a grown up, they're adults now, adults with the same behavior. So an empath is actually tapping into their 5-year-old nature. And what's in that 5-year-old nature? That 5-year-old nature is the wounded 5-year-old. Because empaths are really good at feeling people's fears and their insecurities and how sad they are or how broken they are. Plus, a lot of empaths were brought up in an environment that is unsafe, right? So when I'm in an environment of unsafety, my parents, one or two or all, or the people in my life had the same insecurities. Okay, so I was brought up to take care of these insecurities, right? So I'm brought up to take care of these insecurities. Now, they're gonna click those two. So I don't know why I went in this direction, but you're brought up to take care of the parents. You're brought up to worry about their insecurities. You're brought up to believe to make them happy, right? You're there to like lighten the mood, to cheer them up, to be the problem solver, right? Why? Because even as a child, even if you were 4, you're seeing that your parent is a 4-year-old that isn't mature. Even at 4 years old, you have different kinds of 4-year-olds. You've got so many different personalities. There's the more emotionally mature 4-year-old, and there's the 4-year-old that's not emotionally mature. You're dealing with a 4-year-old that's not emotionally mature in a parent. So these are tricks that you learned, right? That I can't hate them. I have to love them. They're my parents, they're my caregivers. No matter how awful they are to me, they're awful because of their trauma. So there's an awareness as a child. You as a child, you have an awareness before the ego mind comes in, because then we still don't have an ego mind. Okay. We're still learning about the world we're observing, but you have this inner knowing that there is a trauma trapped in this adult's body. You can see the trauma, you can feel the trauma, you can know it's a 4 or 5-year-old. And so you're dealing with them through that perspective. So then you learn how to do that. This becomes like a behavioral pattern. Now, going back to the fact that when you meet the narcissist, whether it's a work colleague or your parent, as we discussed, or a partner, you're tapping into that wounded child. Empaths feel so deeply. They feel people's pain so much so that you want to shift it for them. There's like a thing because you're feeling it so much. You're feeling it more than you're feeling yourself. Why? Because you've denied yourself of feeling your own feelings. because you weren't allowed to feel your own feelings. You were only allowed to feel the feelings around you. So what happens is now I feel their pain so much. If I can shift their pain, I will feel better because their pain is inside of me now. Their wounded essence is inside of me as an empath. If I can heal that wounded essence within me, I will feel better. They'll feel better. Okay. But I don't even know how I'm feeling. So I'm feeling them. These are like one or two of the main reasons why empaths tolerate the narcissist. Because we're seeing somebody who's weak. We're seeing somebody who's broken, but we're not seeing the big adult that grew up entitled, manipulative, harmful to the environment and to others. We're seeing the wounded child. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Okay, so it's that's why we tolerate. This is one of the biggest reasons we tolerate. This usually happens simply due to what I like to call the disempowered empath. So not all empaths, there are lots of empaths that know they feel themselves, they know their body, they feel everything. But a lot of empaths are disempowered, meaning I don't know how to work with my empathy. I don't know how to work with this magical tool I have, right? So I'm working with it this way. And so we tolerate the worst beings on the planet. We give them excuses for their bad behavior because we are talking to their wounded child. Okay. The second reason is, or the third reason, because these were like two merged in one, is as empaths, we believe that this is us being good, right? There's this good girl syndrome that comes in. This is us being good people, right? I'm not allowed to be judgmental. I shouldn't judge others, right? And just listen to the word shouldn't judge, right? So already I've shouldn't myself something. I shouldn't be judgmental. I don't know what they went through. I have to give them excuses for their bad behavior because I'm a better person. I'm a really good person. I've done my best with my parents. I've done my best with other people. And I'm sure you'll notice that you've been there for everyone all the time. So you're in that state where I'm a good person. I'm a good person. And good people are like kind and loving and tolerate the crap in the world the time, right? And tolerate souls and tolerate, sorry for the language, but tolerate really terrible people because I'm a good person, right? Because I'm a representation of Source. Source is to love everybody unconditionally. So I must love those unconditionally. So then my tolerance level for pain goes up. What happens when my tolerance level goes up to pain, my worth goes really down. Because why is my worth lower? It's because I can't even feel myself. I can't hear myself. I can't feel myself. I don't even know if I like what I'm doing or I'm not. It feels painful. It feels contracting on the body. But because if your nervous system has been wrecked for so long, you don't know what it feels like to be relaxed, right? So to you, this is normal. So when you're in a state like this, you can tolerate anything because you're in a flight, fight, or fight mood. But if you're like this day long, right? You probably have horrible sleep patterns. But if you're like this all day long, then you can tolerate anything in the world. Why? Because you're already in a state of waiting for something bad to happen, right? And that's why we're able to tolerate it. I could have tolerated everything in my life. I was tolerating everything in my life until it reaches to a place past my tolerance level. So a lot of empaths, they go past their tolerance level with a narcissist because they've superseded their own tolerance. That's when they feel the pain. But it's not even normal. It's way beyond. So when the empath tolerates a narcissist is because their nervous system is wrecked. It's constantly heightened in a survival mode all the time, right? So of course I can tolerate nice people. It's so easy and simple. I will think, I don't feel passion towards them. I don't feel anything. Why? Because an empath wants to solve problems. Okay. Wants to make people feel better. I don't know if this is reason 3 or 4 or whatever. I'm going to stop saying the numbers because it's all just coming out in like incoherent way or not it's like flowing more than like structured. So the empath just wants to feel better. It feels others. That's what the empath's energy does all the time. And so if I want to feel better and make others feel better, so when I'm tolerating the narcissist, because I don't know how to feel good anymore because my nervous system is so wrecked, I have to pour my energy upon others to make them feel better. because when I can mirror them back to myself, if they're feeling better, then I can be like, oh, then I feel better. But if someone's really nice, and you'll notice this, really, really nice people, you don't have that much patience for. You're not really playing with them a lot because you are in a state of constantly solving problems, making people feel better, making people feel better. You think it's your purpose. And that's one of the biggest things. As empaths, we believe our purpose on this planet is to make others feel better, to uplift their energy and mood. This is what we believe our purpose is. And so we look to people. If we find happy people, we just play with them a little bit, but we don't exert that much energy. When we find miserable people and we're tapping into that child wound and everything, there's an excitement. It becomes a mission, right? This is my purpose. Then why did I go through the hell I went through? So I can make other people happy, right? But this is you are completely disassociated from self. You're not associated to who you are. You're associated to everybody else around you, which is really magical and amazing. However, it's the kind people that need that version of you. That's why you were so well trained as a child, so that you can give it to the kind people, because the kind people have been wounded like you have been wounded, except they don't gaslight you, they don't manipulate you, they don't pull on your energy, they don't victimize themselves. But these are the ones that need your strength, because it's a strength what you grew into, right? It's a strength to feel others so deeply. So if you can feel a kind person's wound, that is going to benefit the world so much better than tolerating and feeling the wound of the narcissist and depleting all your energy in one direction. Because usually, if you have one, two, or three at max, you'll probably die after four. But you'll have three, like maybe it's a partner, a colleague, and a friend, or a few friends, but in the background, they take up so much space that you have no space for the other nice people. There's no space. So they consume. It's like you feel hijacked by the narcissist. You're hijacked by them completely. And you feel like you're giving so much to them, but nothing works. Now, when you are hijacked by kind people, one kind person will take like 0.02% of your energy, but the rest, they will receive all the goodness of you, which is effortless for you, and they will get it. But because you're used to the challenge and it has to be hard, so you look for the people that you think it's passion, that push you this way, that make it a struggle for you to feel accomplished, because it would take so much time for you to allow one of your parents to crack a smile, right? It would take so much effort to let your, I don't know, mom laugh at something you did because you've tried for so long to uplift her mood. It'll take so long to convince a parent of an idea you've had that you've maybe tried for years and she finally got it. And the reward is so delightful because it's that moment of reward. She laughed. Oh my God, it's so cool. You know? Wow. Because it's a reward. However, there are kind people out there. So it's better to tolerate kind people and to accept them into your life, because then you can actually help hundreds of people rather than the one, two, or three that don't want your help, actually, in reality. And any questions, Mel? You think you have anything to
Wow.
say?
I love how you're explaining this. So it sounds like a lot of empaths really have like they're going into just their wounded self of trying to prove their worth, and it's trying to fix something and then feel like, oh, I'm going to make a difference because I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this person. And rather than being able to just take care of whatever insecurities or invalidation they have within themselves, they're outsourcing their power to just feed off other people to get them to smile and be happy, rather than putting the energy back into self of figuring out what they need for self-love, right?
Yes. Yes. I love the way you said it, which is they are outsourcing it. It's because at some point, as an empath, you don't know who you are. You don't know where to grab that golden thread. Okay, what am I? What makes me happy? What makes me sad? I don't know. But I do know what makes that person happy, what that makes us sad. Blah, blah. We know others very, very well because we had to have our antennas up, right? So in tolerating a narcissist, we know exactly what to do with them. It doesn't work. It's not that it works, it doesn't work, right? But we know what to do. It's so familiar. So we are able to tolerate it so much easier, right? It's so much easier because it's so familiar, right? And
So it
it's more
sounds
exciting.
it sounds like it's just getting in this kind of this rat race, this circle, like a dog chasing its tail. Like you just doing this forever until you burn out or you die or you get it so bad from the narcissist. It seems just completely pointless, right? So it's like, okay, how do we let that beautiful empath and soul that literally is just absorbing everybody's energy to slow down a little bit, see what's going on, see what's happening, realizing there's other people there that you can't ever fix. And yeah, you might be able to get your parent or your spouse or child to crack a smile, but that's it. Like you're basically like begging and putting all of your energy into like a baby little breadcrumb. And like you said, it's not worth it. But it's like, I don't know if there's somewhere deep we feel like we like the challenge or it's just we're used to it. But it's like, yeah, let's put our energy into people that can just easily just love us as we are and build on what we have on top of that. I don't know. It's wild.
Okay, so I love how what you said about like the challenge. So this is very interesting. Yes, there is a challenge. There's actually a challenge. It feels good, this challenge. It depletes us, it breaks us down, it completely demoralizes us. You're completely in a state of demoralization. You're like nothing, but it's challenging. It's always this challenge. It's been a challenge since childhood to uplift the mood. Um, One of the other things is um, it comes with a lot of fear. So if you're it's basically the whole entire reason we tolerate narcissists is because the fundamental thing that we're completely used to and feeling is fear. So just remember when we're kids, don't put your hand in the socket, you'll electrocute yourself. Stay away from the fire. Get good grades or you're going to fail. So everything was always in pursuit of how to dodge fear, how to dodge the bad thing. So our programming from a very young age is more fear, like how do I dodge the fear? How do I dodge the this? So when we're doing this, when we're tolerating the narcissist, is how do I dodge their bad behavior? How do I dodge their rudeness? How do I dodge their this? It is challenging. It's a challenge because this is what I'm brought up to believe. Now, what can we shift within that? Where can we go different within this state? So now I'm aware I'm tolerating a narcissist. I'm tolerating them first because I'm seeing their 5-year-old self. Would I harm a 5-year-old? I wouldn't ever. So I'm treating them like that, right? But I expect them to act back as an adult. Now, if I'm aware that I'm dealing with a 5-year-old in who's really ginormous, they've grown up, they own a company, they're whatever it is, right? They're wearing a suit or a dress because there are women narcissists. They're bigger than life, right? They own cars, they have homes, they're not a child I have to take care of, and I'm dealing with their child self. The most important thing is to remember, wait, I'm an adult, they're an adult. Their adult self is mean. Now, the one of the most important things, this is to teach you. Now, this is the wonderful lesson to learn here and to be taught is this will teach me to see who they are and pray for their little self. I don't have to, my egoic self, my human self, my traumatized self doesn't have to care for their 5-year-old. First of all, I need to care for my 5-year-old that's traumatized and not in my body anymore and has run away from this body because it's all trauma. I need to take care of her. However, I also will learn that I'm dealing with the adult that has grown up. Okay. So the best way to deal with this is constant reminder I'm dealing with an adult and I can call it out. A lot of empaths are scared of, oh, I don't want to be judgmental. I don't want to be judgmental. And this, I'll be like the narcissist. I'm going to blame them. No, call it out. Call it out. The narcissist. He's a narcissist. She's a narcissist. I'm calling it out for my own sanity. It's not because you're judgmental. So it's really cool when you call it out. You're like, they're a narcissist. Of course, you'll get the whole, oh my God, how do you know? Blah, blah, blah. Ignore that. And now pray for their 5-year-old self. This way, you've disengaged your tolerance level. You've called them out for who they are, but you haven't stopped being the kind, loving person, but you've sent prayers. Prayers are magical, they will work. But it doesn't mean you sitting around, did it work? Did my prayers go through? Are they nicer people now? Don't wait for it. Just pray. So now you've done the good thing because you're a good person, the empath work. But you've also awakened your true nature in seeing truth because you're seeing a lie by only dealing with their 5-year-old. Yeah, because there's a whole list, and that's like, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Mel, or ask.
Well, I just want to see, I think some of these questions, like the ultimate goal is for each of us is we just, and like listening to information is we want to free ourselves. We want to feel better inside, better about ourselves, more self-love, and just this inner freedom. So, the question was, why do empaths tolerate narcissists? So we talked a lot about that. And if they are realizing this, they need to recognize what's happening. How do they free themselves from separating? One, we already know they're tolerating it. How do they free themselves from that tolerance? One, you said kind of like to see it, and to one, just pray for it and just separate and realize I'm not responsible for this. I don't know how
Okay,
that helps.
great. Okay. Oh, I love this. So the second way to do this is if I'm intolerant of narcissists, what I can do is it can make me understand how powerful I am. Because if you are able to tolerate a narcissist, all narcissists, you are so freaking insanely strong, okay? Because no one in their right mind would tolerate this kind of madness or toxicity. No one in their right mind. We as adults, as parents, tolerate it because we know our kids are going to grow out of it. They have different stages. They're going to then go through puberty, and then they're going to be teens, and then they're going to be 20. They grow out of it, right? So you'll tolerate it. You're like, oh, they're still only 5. They're all still only 10, but in a few years. But a person who's choosing to tolerate and stay with the narcissist no matter what, you are superpower human. That means you can tolerate anything in the world. So the fact that you've been put in this position means that you need to know the confidence that comes in is I can tolerate anything in the world if I was able to tolerate that and still smile and still help people and still find my sanity, still take care of the house, still take care of the kids. I am a superhuman. So that's one of the fundamental positives of what the outcome of this is you recognizing. And that's the sad part, Mel, is that the empaths, including me, including you, we don't recognize how much power and strength it takes to tolerate narcissists. Because once you're away from it, you discover that you are able to do wonders with your life. You can do anything. So it's like a university training on how to live life to the maximum in confidence. Great. This is one of the most amazing things you will learn about what you learned from tolerating a narcissist.
I really love this, the reminder of how strong. So if you've been in a relationship, if you grew up with parents that one or both that were narcissists, holy cow. And then you're an empath in that, and you still have that beautiful heart of yours, and you're just still giving your gifts continually. I think this is so great. Whatever you want to do with it, if you choose to stay in a relationship that with someone that is a narcissist, then you just can strengthen and like know how to protect yourself to not believe the lies, because they're going to project everything on you because they're perfect. They're perfect. Everything's wrong with you in this relationship. That's how it goes. So now just don't believe it. Just brush it off like, oh, there they go, whatever. So if you choose to stay, you don't have to absorb it in that tender heart of yours, which that's what empaths do. Whatever people say and project, they just feel it, and they just try to give love back to like combat that. So it's like, okay, one, you can protect yourself, but hopefully this gives you strength to realize too, if you're like, you know what, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I'm really not getting anything out of it besides maybe they're helping pay the bills, but it's like, wow, I am a badass. I am amazing. I am taking care of the family. I am doing everything else. I can get a job and make money and then not have the depletion of energy sucking my life source from me. So I just really want to build you guys up and realizing if you're listening to this right now, it's probably because you can relate to this, and just want to just remind you of how incredible you are rather than going into the story of I'm not good enough. Why did I attract this person? What's wrong with me? Like lies, lies, lies. We're not going to go there. So way to go, badass. You're amazing. You're incredible. You can do anything in the world that you want to do.
Yes. So what's interesting when Mel talked about projection, please go watch the episode we have about projection. And I don't remember what episode number. We'll keep it in the description and we'll put it probably in our comments, Mel. But go look at that one, because projection, once you get projection and how it works, you're going to be able to do what Mel said, which is brush it off. Okay. When you understand it. So go watch that episode. It's so going to help you. And just know that your confidence, your strength was added to you because of the narcissist. Your fears of being alone, your fears of not knowing how to speak up, all that actually is an illusion and doesn't exist. The fears in which the narcissist pour upon you that you're tolerating are basically just your fears in the way. Okay, because how can they keep you in the relationship? Again, why are you tolerating it? You're simply tolerating it because, as an empath, you're feeling their fears of you leaving, and you're thinking it's your fear of being alone. But it's the narcissist's biggest fear is being alone. That's why they cheat. That's why they have more than one partner. That's why they do all they do. One of their biggest fears is being alone and abandoned. So try to distinguish. Now, this is something that would work wonders for you. If you are living with a narcissist, every minute of the day, ask yourself, is this mine? You're just simply asking and reminding, you're bringing coherency back. Is this fear mine? Is this fear mine? Am I afraid to be alone? You might get yes, and that's okay. That's your own thing. But if you're getting no, or if you're getting yes, just know. And then if you're getting yes, say, is all of it mine? You're going to get no, not all of it is yours. So you have yours to deal with, but you've also taken on theirs since you're so tapped into their energy. You're tapped into them. Remember, they're one of the three people that you're invested your whole world for, right? And you've ignored the rest of the world. So you are tapped in, you're locked in. Your energy is like with them and them is with you. You're feeling all their unworthiness and their loneliness. So now you start to think it's yours. And so you believe that you need to be with them more. So you start to tolerate more of what they're doing because it's okay. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. Oh my God, I'm going to be alone. That's them. That's their fear. So you're plugging into their inner child, you're plugging into their fears, you're taking them on as your own responsibility, you're working through them with yourself, right? Thinking it's you, and now you can't leave because of the fear of being alone, which is not even yours. Why? Because as I said, you are confident, you are stronger than anyone else on the planet. You have strength beyond normal. You can do everything in this world. You can supersede the narcissist in everything and anything. And because you know this about you, then those fears don't belong to you. You are actually truly a very fearless being. The only reason you feel fear is because you have tapped into the narcissist's energy. It is not yours.
Ooh, that's amazing. Ooh, dude, that just all just is like embedding into me. This is amazing. And I want to mention this too. I realized as I've been on this journey too, as an empath, absorbing everybody's energies, I realized like as I started to really like, oh my gosh, like shift people's energies, and you helped me do this. Like, this isn't mine. This is yours. I even use the hand movements. This is yours. This is mine. I realized my energy is really good. And empaths' energies they're just love and safe and secure and just beautiful. When you get to the core of it, it's very, very beautiful. And as I shifted that energy of everyone else out of me, and I took a walk up the canyon by myself alone without music or anything, sat by the river, all these downloads started to come in, like creation ideas of like, whoa. And it like, I got the chills. It was like big picture. And I shared some of them with you, creations of things that I could create to really make a difference in this world that would be fun for me, connecting with others. And I just want to let you know too, like there's beautiful, magical things that await you as a beautiful empath when you can separate other people's energies and not spend all your time thinking, oh, this is it, this is how I make a difference in the world, is me fixing that person, me with my partner just trying. My whole life I give all my energy into just trying to crack a smile and make them happy. Like, it's exhausting and it's never going to work. So I'm giving you permission to let go of trying to individually fix all these individual people, because I know that's how you feel. That's how I felt. Like, this is how I make a difference, is just pouring into everybody. And I realize that's exhausting when you're always pouring into other people and they're not as empathetic as you are. You're not getting an equal exchange of energy and you're just losing yourself in the middle. And it feels really good to let other bigger picture things that aren't just fixing somebody drop in and be like, oh, I get to create from a source of not fixing problems, like create big picture, fun, beautiful ideas that bring me joy and are going to be way better impact than anything else. Like, that's really cool. So just know, when we can get you out of this little rat race or this dog chasing your tail or whatever you want to call it, it can really free you to major possibilities that are like really exciting. And you don't need to have a partner or anyone else there. Like, you can do it all without needing anybody else. You have it all within you. And you've proven it through your life of how you were raised and the people you're with now. It's all in you. So I want to share that.
Okay, that's great. So I think we're complete for now for this episode because we have so much more to talk about and so many different ways to actually allow you all to come back home to your true essence and self. So we'll also share a few episodes that we believe can, if you're watching this one, we believe that can, me and Mel are going to go look into our little library and be like, you know what could support them after this episode are these few episodes. And for sure, we'll put them in the link so that you guys have access to that also.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for listening. Please give us a thumbs up if you resonated with this and you like it and you like our videos. Please subscribe so you can get more of these videos and be the first one as the new ones come out. We have a buy me a coffee link that's in the description with some really great products we have, really cute jewelry and ebooks and e-guides to support you on your personal growth journey. And please comment below if you're a new subscriber. We'd love to hear if you're a new subscriber, and then what your key takeaway was from this episode that you got out of it that just maybe touched you differently. And hopefully there was something to help build you up and remember how amazing you are. And then make sure to watch this next episode. We'll hook it up right here. We'll see you on the next one.